I just remember, like, as we drove by, you could see the outline of a person holding a shotgun. And then next thing you knew, like, I didn't hear anything. All I knew is that my head was ringing and I had blood just pouring out of my head. And then
Right.
we kind of realized what happened. And that's when Matt Janiak, like, that he drove that Reliant K car like a fucking Ferrari. And
I
I
bet.
mean, I just remember those being like hairpin turns, and he was taking that thing at full speed, and somehow we lived. And then everybody in front of us, nobody knew what happened. So everybody was kind of driving the speed limit.
Realize the truth.
What truth?
There is no spoon.
Necessarily remember that day. So I might get some facts wrong. The daytime, I just know all I remember is being at Rob Pavetti's house. Was there for a little graduation barbecue, if you will. I always forget what people call it in different states. Either way, and it was like adults and stuff. It was no like Strawberry Fields party or anything like that. And everybody was sober and stuff like that. And I think we were all going to go. Was it Crown Billiards in London? Is that what it's
Yeah.
called? Crown Billiards? Oh my
Yeah.
God, I haven't thought about that place in a long time.
Yeah, that place is still
And
wild.
yeah, there was like, however many carloads there was, we were all headed there, rolling deep like we were some kind of gangsters or something.
Right.
Bunch of dumbass white kids from Central Connecticut, whatever.
Right.
Anyways, so, like I said before, I think everybody was going to change and do all their thing and put on some Dracar and whatever, trying to look their flyest. And we were all going to meet down at Food Bag, as we did back then, and then we were all going to go from there. And everybody was at Food Bag, and there was no reason that Rob wasn't there. And like I said, it's a little rocky in my head, but and then he finally showed up, and his mom's new car that he was using to go to New London with was all I think it did, like windows were broken, windshield was smashed, somebody throwing rocks at it. And what was crazy is I remember going down his road that night, and that car that, like, I didn't know it was them, I didn't know who it was, but we did see a car down the end of the road with a couple people in it with the lights off, just sitting there. And which we thought was odd, but again, it's Colchester. Moving on. And come to find out, they messed up Rob's car. I don't even know in the beginning who pissed somebody off or who did what. So then, of course, being who we all thought we were, we chased them through town. I don't, again, those circumstances, it didn't matter, Rob's my friend. That's how we did it back then. I don't give a fuck who did it and what the reason was for. And it's not like we didn't start chasing them immediately, but I think we drove through town. I was with Matt Janiak, Dan O'Connor, who's from Salem, Lebanon area, and I think he went to Lyman and shit, and then Mike Tommasi. And we were all in Matt's Reliant K car. And when I get to it, I'll tell you how, come to find out, like, that Reliant K car, that fucking thing saved my life. Because the headrests, the inside of the headrest was made of steel.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I guess there was, like, the pellets from the shotgun in the steel, and that would have taken my damn head off.
Right.
Anyways, so I remember driving through town, and I got to be honest, I think as we drove through town looking for these dudes, we picked up a couple more people. Like, there was a couple more cars. Like, we were like, hey, man, so-and-so did such and such, and we're like, yeah, fucking get them. So now we're probably 5 or 6 carloads of idiots.
In traditional Seatown fashion.
Traditional Seatown fashion, as we were all thugs back then. And, I think we started off with 4, picked up more, 5, 6 deep. I honestly don't remember completely. There's a lot of that detail now, this far later, that I don't remember. I couldn't tell you how long it took us to find them, but we found them because, everybody back then had their routes they took through town to look cool or whatever. You didn't want to drive back by McDonald's 3 times, so you did a big loop or whatever. So we we found them, and then it ended up being everybody's driving fast now, and chased them up. I always forget the name. Not Halls Hill. I don't remember the name. I'm fuzzy on Colchester names right now, but I remember we that's where they lived, I guess, and they lived. From what I remember, it was like at the time the last house on that cul-de-sac, or the only house. Like it was. You go up to the road, we go to the end, and we're not. And I remember none of us. Wasn't a one of us that was going to pull into the dude's driveway. You just don't do that. You ain't assaulting somebody's house, And it was a cul-de-sac. Literally, the whole troop of car looked like it just fucking went in there, turned around, and I don't even know what order we were in when we drove in the circle, but we ended up last. I think we were last. And as we went by Matt Janiak's Reliant K car, I just remember, like, as we drove by, you could see the outline of a person holding a shotgun. And then next thing you knew, like, I didn't hear anything. All I knew is that my head was ringing and I had blood just pouring out of my head. Right. And then we kind of realized what happened. And that's when Matt Janiak, like, that he drove that Reliant K car like a fucking Ferrari. And I mean, I just remember those being like hairpin turns, and he was taking that thing at full speed, and somehow we lived. And then everybody in front of us, nobody knew what happened. So everybody was kind of driving the speed limit. And we're trying to just bust through people, because now we noticed that Mike is in the back seat hunched over.
Wow, man.
And, he caught what he caught in the back of the head. And then what went past him, the two pellets hit me, one in the side of the head and one in the neck. And the rest went in the headrest behind me. So, it's crazy. It's crazy. But, so yeah, we drove. We didn't know what to do. I mean, who the hell really had cell phones back then? Or if we did, I mean, you had reception, and we're up in that side of Colchester at the time. I don't think there was a damn reception.
Right.
Fucking phones were still in bags, for crying out loud. Anyways.
Sheer panic.
Sheer panic. We didn't know what to do, but we thought of Troop K. Because that was, Troop K was there, and then the fire department and everything. So we went there. And I remember not realizing I was up and walking, and I didn't know how bad I was hurt. I wasn't sure at the time what was going on with Mike. I knew he was messed up, but like everybody filed inside the lobby there in Troop K. I don't know if it's any different than it was, but like you walk in that door and there's a big lobby right there. And I remember like everybody filed in there. They pulled us in there. And everybody's trying to get me to sit down, and I'm like, no, fuck you. I don't want to sit down. Where's Mike? What's going on? I mean, I was in complete shock. I had no idea what was going on. And I'm trying to check on people, and everybody's looking at me like I'm covered in blood. And, my ears, literally, 32 years, my ears are still ringing.
They were never